Hi there, thank you so much for joining me here today. In today's video, I want to talk about age as it pertains to a career change. In a recent post I did, I mentioned that the average age of my client is age 50. And that surprised some people. They're like, wow, that seems like really late. And I actually want to talk about this because, first of all, I don't believe it's late at all. I believe it's actually right on time. And just hear me out here. I'm actually going to preface this by actually first mentioning that I started making my career change when I was at the age of 45. When I was at the age of 45, I actually signed up for a year-long course in coaching. At the age of 45, being a single parent, working full-time in finance, I made that choice. And there's a reason why the average age is around 50, because typically what happens is for many of you who are very ambitious, you've gone to school, you've gotten a great job, you've gotten promotions, you reach a point where you've reached all the success that you're supposed to reach, right? You kind of checked off all the boxes and you realize you don't feel fulfilled. It's like you're chasing something constantly. I don't know if you know that feeling where you're chasing out something outside of yourself. And this is truly what happens when you're not in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. Is you do kind of feel like you're chasing something, and then when you get it, you're like, this doesn't actually feel that good. I thought I was supposed to feel good about this. And what have you been doing all those years? You've been accumulating knowledge, experience, wisdom. Our society really does seem to value youth, but these are all things that can come with age. And when you're younger, you can know things intuitively, or know them knowledge-wise. Like you can understand something, you can read a book, but when you've gone through a lot of life, there is wisdom that you pick up from experience, actually going through it. And going through challenges in life are what build character. They make us who we are. And that is not something you can rush. It's not something that just happens. It is something you have to experience, you have to walk through and live through. And that is actually why so many of you want to have an impact. Because you've gone through some challenges in life. You've had your struggles. And because of those struggles, you want to show up and help others as they go through their struggles. You actually want to be there to make a positive change, to have influence in whatever way you can. Like I said, this is not random. It's not like you just all of a sudden, at this stage of life, you're actually drawing from all those things you've done. So it's not actually too old. It's not actually too late. It's actually right on time. You wouldn't be in the position where you're wanting to make a change unless you had gone through those experiences. Another really important thing to mention is that when you make a career change at this point, you are looking for something that is more in alignment with you, that gives you a deeper sense of meaning and has a sense of impact. You are drawing on everything you've done, everything you've learned, everything you experience. There seems to be this notion sometimes that I'm just starting over from scratch. It's actually the opposite. You're actually drawing from everything you've learned. That's actually what it's doing. It's not ignoring it. It's actually utilizing it at its highest capacity. It's taking all the experience you have, all your unique talents, your gifts, all your unique perspectives, what you uniquely have to offer the world. It's actually taking those things. So you're not really starting over from scratch. You are actually repackaging it. Absolutely. I had a client actually actually, it was a couple months ago, he ended my program with me, my Pathway to Purpose program. And we have a wrap-up call, and I asked him a question. I said, what do you think was, like, what helped you shift going through this program with me? And he said something I thought was really, really well spoken and well articulated. He said, it wasn't like one thing that happened in the program. It was a number of elements. He said he felt like he had all the ingredients and I had the recipe to pull it all together. And so what I would really want you to focus on there is, he said, I had all the ingredients. It's things, it's experiences, it's knowledge you already have within you. So it's not like you are, like I said, starting over from scratch. No, it's just a repackaging of what you have. Many of you I know are working in careers and jobs where you're not utilizing all your skills, all your abilities, and all the experience you actually have within you. And that's when you can really start to feel discouraged. You can start to lose your confidence. So sometimes it can also feel like, oh my gosh, at the age of 50, I'm going to start a new career. But here's the thing. This is something you can't necessarily know unless you've walked through it. When you are working in a career that is not in alignment with you, it's like it's one of two things. You're actually chasing something, you're chasing success, or you're dragging yourself. And it often interplays between the two, right? You're either like trying to go get something, so it's like this force kind of energy, or you're like exhausted and burned out, so you're trying to drag yourself through it. And it's not fun. So if that's your only experience of work, of course you're going to be like, well, I don't want to make a career change. That sounds like just more work. But here's the thing. When you work in something and you're doing something that's in alignment with you and what you want to bring forth into this world, you don't have that same force energy, that same chasing energy, and you don't feel like you're dragging yourself. It's like there's this inner kind of force pulling you forward. I mean, it's inspiration is what it really is, right? Yeah, there's moments that are going to be hard. There's moments that are going to be challenging. That's life. I always say that, I'm not here to candy coat anything. It's like anything else. It's going to have its moments of challenge, but it's different. It's a different feeling. Like I said, it's not like you're chasing or forcing. It's this inner drive that is helping propel you forward. So it's a much different work experience than if you've been in the corporate grind, feeling like you're on a hamster wheel. I did that for many years, and that's exhausting. It really is. Another point I really want to mention here is we talk about age and say you're in that age group, somewhere between, let's just say 45 to 55, and maybe you've got kids. And this is a concern I hear from people. Well, if I switch careers, I am going to be taking away from my family time. And first of all, to say, yeah, you are. There is, I'm not here to candy coat things. It's going to take some extra time on your part. For me personally, and I'll just explain what I've experienced. Like I said, I started the coaching program when I was 45 years old. I have been a single parent for, I think, 13 years, raising my daughters on my own. I was working in corporate finance, a homeowner, so I've got to take care of everything in the home by myself. So I have had a full plate. I'm just going to put that out there. My plate has been full for many years. But this is what I also knew. I looked at my daughters, and I'm trying not to get emotional as I'm talking about this. But I looked at my daughters and I thought, what kind of parent am I? This is my experience. If I'm telling them to go for their dreams, if I'm telling them to be and do all they want to be and do, and I am staying in a career that I don't like, they could see my stress all the time. They could see I didn't like it. It's not like we could hide it. our kids see us. They know what we're going through. And so on the one hand, we think, well, I don't want to make a career change because I'm going to take away from my family. But on the other hand, what example do you want to set for your kids? And I ask that honestly. Like I said, my kids are my most important thing in my life. They are my top priority, hands down. And the thought of them seeing me give up what I want and who I am and struggle was something I wasn't willing to do. And yeah, so I would just encourage you to ask yourself, what kind of impression, what kind of example do you want to set for your kids? It's a deeply personal thing. Again, it's how you want to approach it, you know? What kind of example do you want to set? I know for me now, when I hear my kids tell me that they're proud of me, there's no other feeling in the world. There's no other feeling in the world. And I share that with you, and you can see I'm crying because it means so much to me. Like, they're like, Mom, I'm so proud of you. Like, when I hear them say that, I know I did the right thing. I truly know, I mean, I've known I've done the right thing the whole time. But then those moments, it's like when it truly locks into place. This is the legacy I want to leave my kids. And my daughters are now 16 and 17, and they're, you know, in the beginning of creating their careers. And I don't want them just following what they're supposed to do because somebody's told them that's how they're supposed to, you know, live their life. You know, the school system here, you know, I'd imagine it's similar in all places. They just talk about, you know, pick a career where there's a demand. Well, of course there has to be a demand for what you do, but there's way more to it than that. There's way more to it than that. And so that's the example I want to set for my kids. They want to travel. So I've said to them, okay, you probably need to be self-employed to be able to travel and work at the same time, you know, and that's what we're working on together as a parent and, you know, really as a coach, I'm helping them through this. So if you're worried about taking time away from your family, really think about what's most important. You know, our parents, our kids mirror what we do, not what we say. They really do. If they see you stressed out and exhausted, that becomes what they think is normal. If they see you giving up what you really want, that becomes normal. And and so actually I see this as an opportunity to leave a legacy, to be an example of something different. And like I said, for me, this is it for me. This is my top priority for me in my life, is my daughters, and then the work I do. Absolutely, of course, it all interplays in there, right? So I really wanted to share this video. I actually didn't prepare for this video at all. I just flipped it on the camera. It was something that I feel really passionate and strongly about because, wow, like I think to myself, age 50, who cares how old you are? You know what I mean? Like, who really cares? One of the people that most inspired me, I just want to leave this one, is, I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Her name is Louise Hay, and she started this publishing house at the age of 60. And she was hugely successful. She published so many, you know, personal development and self-help books that helped so many people. And unfortunately, she passed a couple years ago. But she started at the age of 60. And I think to myself, like, that's a badass. That's really a badass. I want to be like her. That's what I want. I don't care how old I am. I've got something to say. I've got something to give to this world. I am going to make sure that I say it. I'm going to do it. No regrets. I don't want to have any regrets looking back. So I hope if you are anywhere in that age group, and really in any age group, you know, sometimes we can think, oh, we're too young to make a change, right? I mean, we tell ourselves these stories. You know, what stories do you want to tell yourself, and who do you want to be? How do you want to show up as? So if you are considering a career change and you're thinking this is something you want to pursue, you don't quite know what to do next, please feel free to reach out. My website is andreahorvath.com. I've got a free guide there as well as you can set up a 30-minute mini coaching session with me. I'm going to leave all the links down below in this video. Any comments, always appreciated, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.